little bit. Hey, been a little bit. Today I think I'm gonna go through my medical stuff with you guys, show you what I've got out here, what you could get for your first aid kit, I guess you could call it, for your horses. It's always good to have stuff available so you don't have to worry about when the vet's going to get there, because if you live any place like I do, it takes a while for them to get here. So I have a toolbox that I put my vet stuff in. I find that makes it easier to keep it organized. So let me turn you around here. This is my toolbox. It was pretty reasonably priced. I forget how much it was, but I remember being pretty amazed at the time at how cheap it was. And it's metal, so it's pretty sturdy. I really like it. Now, as you can see, I've got cotton there, and I've got my B12 shots that I used to use on a horse I had, older horse. Vitamins and electrolytes. I've got enemas for foals and lube for breeding mares. That's what this little pipette's for breeding. My clippers, always have good clippers, charging. You can get them to where, like this one, it charges every month. It'll automatically charge it every month. I won't talk about drugs so much because I don't want to step on any vet's toes. I mean, I worked for a vet for a long time, so I know a lot about what drugs to give and all that, but I don't want to give you guys information that your vet might feel is wrong. So we won't talk about drugs too much. Anyway, back to the clippers. Make sure you've got a good clipper blade on there. This is I believe this is a 40. 40 is good, but there's also a surgical blade that you can get. 40. Mostly 40s and 10s are what I used. Oh yeah, this is it right here. Yeah, you can get surgical blades that make clipping wounds a lot easier. So we'll start from the top down. So here's top drawer. Got my horse-sized stethoscope. And you can see it's quite a bit longer than a regular one. Got my weight tape. I've got tongue depressors to mix up various concoctions that I use. Thermometer, a pen, just information that I need. A little snack clip to clip the thermometer to their tail. I know a lot of people use those new thermometers now that you don't actually have to invade their back end to get temperature. So that's pretty nice, but I still use the regular ones. What are we stuck on? Clipper. Gosh, just break everything up, right? Anyway, okay, so got stitches or suture shears. Got my little shears, alligators, bandage scissors, a light. You always want to have a light available in the dark. Pliers, I don't know what those are for, but these are for staples, pulling staples out that your vet puts in. Sterile blades, surgical blades, those are good to have. And in my big drawer, I've got these Attends. I got these from a lady that whose husband had just passed, and she had taken care of him at home for a long time. So she had a case of these, so I bought them, and they came with a bunch of bandage pads and stuff like that. So that was a good find. Human stuff can be used on horses, just so you know. That wrap. And don't keep this stuff for too long because it will stick to itself. So check it every once in a while. We've got 4-inch gauze. Probably need to get more of that. Bandages. This stuff right here, this red gauze bandage, this is handy stuff, especially when you're wrapping legs. This is more of the stuff that I got from the lady. Kerlix. This is good stuff for wrapping legs and wrapping wounds. And this is, what is this? Oh, yeah, women's feminine products. Those are great for bandages. I mean, they're awesome. They work great. A little thing of alcohol that needs to be filled. Some Vaseline for the thermometer. Yeah, you don't want to put that in dry. Or you can spit on it, whichever. There's all, this is great stuff, this Tagaderm. In the tack stores, I think they call it something else for animals. But there's gauze, larger gauze sponges, more Tagaderm. I had another one, I forget what they call it. But more little gauze sponges. Elasticon's good stuff. This is the dog size. But you want at least the 4-inch for horses. These are all my triple antibiotic creams and stuff like that. And triamcinolone, eye meds. This stuff is great. The silver nitrate. These are little strips that you can use. You just put that on the wound. Floor stains. These are for their eyes. So you can check to see if there's scratches on the cornea. That's for with the light too. And then, oh, there it is, Animal Intex. That's what it's called. Those are awesome. If you could have anything on in your tack room, make sure you have that, or Dermacloth, because those come in handy. Here's another size of Animal Intex. They're just great poultices, and if you can find them at garage sales and stuff like that, grab them, because you know what? That means nothing. So. But again, I'm not giving you medical advice. Just my opinion. Don't do as I do. This is what I do. I've always got 18 gauge needles because those come in handy. And then these are the 20 by 1.5. And then these are what are those? 20 by 1.5. Oh, same as that one. That's why that was in there, say. Just all, these are all kinds of stuff that I've just kind of gathered up over the years from other people. 3 mil syringes. These come in really handy. Allergy syringes. Those come in pretty handy. And again, just more stuff that I've gathered up over the years from other people. But for a tack box or first aid box in a horse situation, I would always have 3-inch, 3 mil syringes, 20 mil, 12 or 10. Those are always good to have. And then I always have these. I got these at a sale, another elderly person sale, and these are really handy. They're good for syringing meds to your horse through his mouth. if you can have a few of these around, these 60cc syringes, these are great. And make sure they have the that end on them. I forget what it's called. But those are really handy for giving meds. So that's my box. And then I've got stuff down here. That's all more attends and medications, all kinds of meds. Leg wraps. Always have good leg wraps. For cleaning wounds, I would recommend surgical scrub, betadine surgical scrub, and chlorhexidine. Always good. This stuff you want to mix so that it looks with water, so that it looks kind of like weak tea. That's good for umbilical stumps as well. And then my meds, my coffee grinder that I use to grind up butte and other things. Clipper cooler. So that's about it for my tack box. Let's see, I've got other things up here as well. Microcin, Vetericin. We used to call this stuff when it first came out, this Vetericin, we called it pool water because that's what it looked like. Molvasan. This is a spray that I make with geranium oil. It's really good for gnats. AluShield or whatever it is you want to use. All good stuff. Scarlet oil, I'm telling you, that stuff is amazing on everything. If you can have a gallon of it, do so, because it's good stuff. Povidone, just all kinds of stuff I've accumulated over the years that is good to have around. Even if it's old, you know, it doesn't go bad like people think it does, just like a lot of your meds don't. I mean, I've got meds in here that I've had since 2006, and they still work. I have to use a little bit more of them, but they still work. So those are good things to have. As far as leg wraps, I'll pull this out. You can't come with me. There's all different kinds of leg wraps in here. There's quilties, those are good to have, and then polo wraps, and then bandages. All good to have, just in case, you know? And keep them clean. Don't let them get all cruddy. These are good to have. And keep your horse from scratching something that doesn't need to be scratched on her leg. What else? Really nothing else med-wise. No, I don't want to do that. I would really like to show you guys how to wrap a leg and how to wrap a wound, but that getting into that whole medical advice thing, you know how that goes. So if you have any questions about stuff like that, go ahead and email me and I can try to answer your question, but I won't do it here because I don't want to get anybody in trouble. Okay, so that's that. I'm trying to think of, it's still pretty hot out. I'm waiting until it cools off a little bit before I start the driving series, and that's going to take a while. I'm in the process of not finding a home, but I bred this mare that I had for a horse for my son, and he hasn't been able to take it as of late. He's been busy, all kinds of stuff, but I think maybe he might be ready. We'll see, but we'll see if he's able to do that. So the young girl that I have out there in the corral just might be going to him. I hope she does, because she would be perfect for him. Anyway, the mule, I'm going to teach her to drive. And that's going to be the next series that I do. We'll be teaching Alcyone how to drive. So that'll be interesting because she's pretty headstrong. She's definitely muley. That's a whole new experience for me. I've never had a mule before. So I'm learning. I'm taking a lot of advice, which don't ever not take advice. Take it, do what you want with it, but always listen, because there might be something you can use in somebody's advice. But yeah, I'm getting a lot of advice about how to get her going and how to teach her how to drive and all that. And I think it'll be fun. I've got a carriage and I've got a little two-wheeled cart out here that I'm going to use. So that should be a lot of fun. Hopefully you can stay tuned for that. So hey, thanks for riding along, and we'll see you next time.